feel free to pour yourself one of anything or just grab anything.
Fucking drink that.
Right, cheers, George.
Oh god, that smells horrible.
Oh, do you want a drink? Do you want another one of them, maybe? Just
No, I
throughout
better
it?
not.
Are you all right? Yeah.
You're letting people know that I've had a drink just to calm the nerves.
Right,
Come on, guys,
cheers.
no one drinks at this time of the
Yeah, I
morning.
know. God, what the fuck?
No good.
It's great, yeah.
Oh, it doesn't help that it's lukewarm.
Go on,
that is
I'll
really
have a
good.
little bit.
That
then.
is-
I don't
Oh,
know.
you don't want
It
to,
is really
but
good.
go for it.
You have to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Solidarity,
Oh,
that's what
this
it's
is
all
horrible.
about.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad.
That says a lot about you.
Might mess
Oh
up
my
one.
god.
You don't have to.
Oh, it's
get
fucking
it down
horrible.
you.
I'm sorry. Right.
It's all right.
Oh, right. Let's get on with this professional interview.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, firstly, just my instincts as soon as I see you, so many words pop to mind. I'm sure that you can imagine what they are. But what is the number one thing that people usually say to you when they meet you?
Bus wanker.
Bus wanker.
Absolutely. It's number one. Straight in at number one. There's no competition.
I love
Is
that.
bus just a mode of transport you can no longer ever use again?
I guess so, yeah. Although it doesn't, because I get the train quite a lot, and I do get called train wanker. So
Maybe
great.
they've never
It's
even seen the
universal.
show before. It's just a bit of a wank.
Yeah. Maybe you are the common denominator here. Do you walk and people just shout, wanker?
Walking wanker.
Just shout. No, they
Foot
don't.
wanker. Oh, that sounds a bit weird. I don't like that.
Wanker.
I mean,
Ooh.
don't knock it till you try it. Do you know
I
what I
haven't seen
mean?
the search history.
Yeah. So that's
No.
the number one.
Yeah, that's the number one.
Oh, okay.
You said this morning after sprinting for the train, you just got friends.
Yeah, I got friends, and I got a wobba bob bob, which is one that I don't
That's a
hear
niche
very
one.
I
often.
was
That's
going to
fairly
say,
niche,
yeah,
yeah.
that's very niche.
Do you know what Wobble Bob Bob is?
Yes, I remember. It's not from the movie, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
It is from the movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great times.
There you go.
So, as you know, we all know and love you from the Inbetweeners. You've had a huge acting career at this point.
It's been all right.
How did you get into acting? Like, where did that all start for you?
I guess I was just a bit of a show off when I was a kid. I just liked making people laugh. I was the class clown.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I sort of, if I do ever bump into someone from school, I do feel a bit sick because I think about how I was when I was at school, just such a little arsehole.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do
Just
anything.
Some would
for-
say a wanker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
School wanker. Ooh.
Do it.
Oh my
Don't
God.
Don't add that
Oh
one to the
God,
list.
no, please, yeah.
Just doing anything to make the class laugh. That was basically my goal in life. And then I started going to sort of a local stage school when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And I got my first professional job when I was about 10 or 11 in the West End in a musical.
Oh, wow. What did you play?
I was just one of the kids in a show called Whistle Down the Wind at the Aldwych Theatre, which I really enjoyed. And I was like, I'd love to do this for the rest of my life. This would be really fun. And then for some reason or another, I was always involved in something, and it would usually mean taking months off of school. And that was it. So you had to get permission. I'm sure it's even more strict these days.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had to get like a written letter from the headmistress of my school and stuff to say yes, he's allowed to take this time off.
Wow.
But I think they were like, well, he's not really doing
It's
much.
the only hope he's got.
He's not. Exactly. He's not doing much here. So he might as well. But yeah, I was always involved in something or another, and then the Inbetweeners was the same. I auditioned for it, and you get recalled and called back and stuff like that.
How long was that
and
process? Like,
that was a really, really long process actually, because
Yeah.
I was in the pilot of the Inbetweeners.
Yeah.
I was the only one out of the boys that was actually in the unaired pilot.
Oh, really?
Really?
And I played Neil in the pilot as well. I played a different
Ah.
character.
so you didn't apply for Jay?
Just take wherever you can
Yeah.
get, can't you? At that stage of the
Yeah.
career.
Mm.
But the pilot came out, and then there was a lot of waiting around for well over a year until we found out we were going to actually make it a proper show out of it.
Yeah.
And then we brought out the first series, and no one watched it. And then, sorry, I got gin in my throat.
That happens here. Don't you worry.
And then,
That pineapple
working.
liqueur, it'll get you.
I'm glad I didn't put any of that cream stuff in.
Sounded like
Yeah.
you're getting choked up. Such good memories.
It was. Just
One
thinking
second, I
back
just got
to it
gin
now,
in my
one
throat.
time in my life. Yeah, it took a long time for the show to eventually become a thing, and then it did, and thank God it did, because as I say, I've got no qualifications, I've got no formal education or anything behind me, so I'm glad that I still get to make people laugh and make an idiot of myself.
Did any of the other boys that were in the pilot, did they ever amount to anything that you know?
Just in
Are you watching? Maybe
it's your time to call them out.
Yeah, I'm sure they
I
all
made
did.
it.
They're all dead. They're all dead clever. Like
I thought you were gonna say they're all dead.
they're all dead.
No, yeah, that's
They're
why they
all
didn't make
dead.
the episodes.
No, they all sadly passed away. I was the only one that made it out of the pilot.
It's been years since I've heard from them.
They could be dead.
One of them's a very successful and has had a very long career in stand-up comedy.
Oh,
and
okay.
He always pops up in stuff. So
Alan Carr.
Alan, yeah,
Yes,
he was in it.
it was
He in the
originally
pilot.
Neil.
He was
playing Jay
he
in
was
the
Will.
pilot.
He was
He was
in
Will.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Will.
Alan Carr.
There was a very, very botched job on. Yeah, I was a
I
bit
enjoyed
embarrassed
it,
to do it when
yeah.
he was on the podcast
Yeah,
to
fair
his
enough.
face.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. So I didn't. So I didn't realize that like a pilot process can take that long. Is that usual? Then
I don't think so.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I think
They
usually
went,
like a channel.
we'll have to go with him, I guess. Then
Yeah.
I think a
Put it
channel
off
will
long
know
enough.
within a couple of months. They'll watch it and they'll decide whether it's any good or not. You don't have to watch something and then, like, say if you watch something on television, you don't go, well, I'll give it a year before I
Yeah.
decide
Yeah.
whether this thing's any good or not.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know whether it's interesting or not, but there's a lot of
Stay tuned, guys.
it was, obviously it's a business television, isn't it? And so they have to think about budgets, and the channel has to
Yeah.
decide whether they can pay for it or whether they even want to pay for it. And at the time, Big Brother was the biggest thing on television, and when we made the pilot, they'd trebled or quadrupled their budget. The production company said, "This is how much that we want."
Yeah.
You to pay us Channel 4 if you want to keep
Yeah.
the biggest show on television on your
Wow.
channel. So Channel 4 were like, right, well, we're going to have to, because we can't say no to Big Brother.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden there was no money to make anything else. So we were a bit like, oh, well, they're not going to give the Inbetweeners money, are they? They're not going
Yeah.
to give this rubbish that we've
What was
served
what
up.
was it originally called? Because it wasn't called The Inbetweeners.
It was
originally,
called
was
Baggy Trousers.
Oh, did you know
Baggy
that?
trousers.
It was called Baggy Trousers. But it was originally set in the 80s.
Really?
By the time we made the pilot, that idea, they wanted something more contemporary that kids could like.
Yeah, think about it. I just can't imagine it being set.
I think that sounds more cool. I think
Baggy
I think
trousers.
that'd be quite cool. But that
Maybe
was,
for like a band.
well, that was it. It's a Madness song, Baggy Trousers.
Oh, is
So
it?
It's a big song from the 80s, and that's why they.
Right.
And it was about the writers growing up in the 80s. But it turns out that young men are just idiots. No matter what decade they grow up
It's a
in.
timeless thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.